Welcome to SilverC Review. This will be kind of a different view. Alright, this podcast will have an introduction, a movie review, a movie recommendation, some jokes and quotes, and then an Inside the Introvert section. Here comes the wind. The entire time I tried to find a setup point. I'm telling you, man, this kid just hates me. Okay, all the times are listed down in the description, so if you want to watch a certain section or skip to a certain section, feel free to do so. And if you want me to review a certain movie, just comment anywhere and I'll check it out. I've never been this close to the camera before. Hopefully you can see me. So that's kind of new. It's raining, or rainy, so I couldn't do my podcast outside. I had to be underneath something, so I decided to do this. Hopefully I'm not speaking too loud, but actually that's probably better because I think a lot of my videos are, the audio is so low it's hard to hear them. But anyways, sorry for the wind noise in the last episode. It was pretty much unlistenable, especially at the ending. If I didn't have that train crossing in the background, I would probably go ahead and like re-record the video. Plus, I just don't have time to do it right now. But yeah, so I put in the description of that video, which the wind might be bad in this video as well. Hopefully, with me being close to the camera, it'll not disrupt it as much. I don't know. This will be a good experiment. I put in the description the quotes and just the quotes, and then I also put in the kind of a short description of the 3 stories I told because I couldn't even keep track of where I was in the middle of the stories. The wind noise was so bad, and the quotes, it kind of interrupted them, so I would say just skip the introvert section if you do listen to the next video or the previous video, and just read the description if you want. But I lost access to my Flickr account. I went to log in the other day after not logging in for like 3 months, and it's requiring a Yahoo login, which I have a Yahoo login, but I use that one, and it's not the one I use. I don't remember using a Yahoo login whenever I set the account up, so I don't know what it is. I can't seem to, like, there's no way to log in any other way. This is stupid. I swear, the entire time I was setting up, it was not this windy. So anyways, I decided to just post the pictures on Twitter. I'll do like an @SilverC review, so you'll know it's my picture. And I'll also send it to Pinterest, so that way if anyone wants to go through and look at just the pictures I've posted, they'll all be on Pinterest, which you can search it by just typing in SilverC review. And also, previously on Twitter, the only thing I was posting was the audio files, like the links to them. But I decided I'm going to start posting pretty much anything that I find fascinating on Twitter. So, like, I've got so many people on Facebook, I can't post the stuff I find fascinating because it would probably offend a lot of people. And, or just be considered a lot of spam. And my Twitter, nobody knows about my Twitter. Like, no one in real life knows what my Twitter is, so I can just post whatever I want and say whatever I want, and it's awesome. So that's what I'm going to do from now on. And I've already started, so you'll see lots of pictures and links to videos, and none of it's going to be anything I created or anything I did, so just keep that in mind. The only thing is going to be my podcast and my pictures. Those are the only 2 things that are mine. Everything else will be most likely from a website called Dump-A-Day or from videos I watch on a daily basis. So like Philip DeFranco, and I don't know. He's got like a section where he links to cool videos, so they'll probably be from that. So anyways, movie I watched recently that I've watched many times, I watch it every year, is V for Vendetta. I give that one a 10 out of 10. It's a good story, good effects. The effects are really well done. I like the characters, the actors, everything in it is just excellently well done. And I think it's the 5th of November that I watch it each year. I think that's what he says, is remember the 5th of November. But yeah. So we're going to go into the movie review. This one's going to be Tag, as my sheet flies around. It's going to be right in the middle of the screen. I don't know if you can even see my hand there. Okay, we're going to do it right there. Giving this one a 9 out of 10. There will be spoilers, I think. Yeah, there's spoilers. Yeah, definitely the ending. So, not anything major, because it's just a comedy, but there are spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend going to see it. Since the movie Game Night came out, it was just so well filmed for a comedy and well done. I just loved everything about it. I was hoping they would make more comedies like that, and I was kind of hoping Blockers would be like that, and it was not like that. But Tag definitely is like that, and it made me so happy watching this movie. I just thought of something I forgot to mention. It's going to be... Ooh, the wind's coming from a different direction. Wonder if that makes it worse. It's going to be kind of bright back there because I'm kind of dark, so I tried to brighten it up a little bit so you can kind of see me. So, anyway. Yep, definitely love this movie. I really hope this catches on and becomes a new comedy style where they really put a lot of effort into the filming of it and really make it just what I would consider a well-done movie. So it started off with an excellent quote, one that I've already got in my collection, so I give it an A+ for intro, and which the whole introduction to this movie was really cool, showing how they were kids and everything, which I didn't know this movie was based off a real-life group of people that did this. I mean, we'll discuss that at the end, but I had no clue. The first Tag interaction was really funny, watching him throw the chair against the window and it just bouncing off and hitting him in the face. That was awesome, especially with him being so random. He's like the CEO of a company. The lengths they go through to tag each other are awesome. I really feel like that would be a fun thing to do in real life, although I don't have nearly that many close friends. I don't know. If we were only getting together once a month, I bet I could get a group of people to do it. Only doing it for the month of May, I thought that was neat. That was conservative, but you can still have fun with it. It's workable. You're not having to the entire year worry about if someone's about to tag you and win. You're able to always remember, oh hey, it's the month of tags, so. Which, if you see me just sitting here, it's probably because the wind's blowing and I'm trying not to talk. In the previous video, I would say stuff like, I'm going to stop for a minute because the wind's blowing, but it was blowing so hard you couldn't even hear me. I really liked the quote, to live in the past is to die in the present. I added that to my quote list so you can see where I get my quotes just from anywhere. There's a whole bunch of Canadian geese over there. I kind of want to turn the camera, but you probably couldn't even see them. And then with my luck, I wouldn't be able to get it recentered. I can shoot for it, I guess. Here, I'll zoom in real quick. With my super, super slow zoom. There we go. There, I got some wildlife in my video. Now I got super slow zoom back out. Alright. Now we're just going to have to hope that it's in the same position where it should be because I'm not going to walk around and look again. Him going down the stairs had like the most pointless slow mode. I feel like it's too close now. Oh man, that probably wasn't good. Probably not good for the video, I mean. It was the most pointless slow mode little scene. I think all he did was grab the weed or cigarette or whatever he had in his mouth and just like pulled it out, but it was like super slow all of a sudden, and I loved it, even though it was pointless. And I kind of thought it was an interesting filming technique, how it was almost like he had a GoPro strapped to his chest. I mean, I've seen the filming technique before, but that's another thing that I like in these movies that I consider high-quality comedy movies, is they're using a lot of different filming techniques, and or at least ones I can notice. I'm sure movies are constantly using them, and I just don't notice it, but they use ones that layman people can notice. And it's cool. I like it. I was kind of confused for a while why Ed Helms was chasing him, because I thought it was the businessman, the CEO dude that was the one that was it, and turned out it was him that was it. It was just a trick, which was cool, but I was very confused for quite a while. So, if I refer to people, because I don't know the actors' names, of course, and there's quite a few of them that are all main characters, I'm going to say the businessman, the stoner, Ed Helms, normal guy, and Jeremy Renner. So, you should be able to figure out from that, because I know Jeremy Renner and Ed Helms, but I don't know the other three, so that's what I'm going to refer to them. Although I don't think it comes up a whole lot. When they were driving, I really thought it was an actual flashback of them playing as kids, and then it turned out to be present day and them just watching some random kids. So that was very well done. I love stuff like that just completely leads you to believe one thing and then it's something completely different. Ed's wife definitely is really intense. It's kind of funny throughout the entire movie how intense she is, and even when she finally is allowed to play, she is super intense. So, the first Jeremy Renner scene was excellent. It was funny. Watching him speed bag that person's butt, the guy's butt, was hilarious, and just everything about his first tag sequence was very awesome. I liked it. He's so far ahead of them with him being in his basement, and when they try to break in, he's actually in the house, but he's built a replica of the other person's room. I mean, it's funny because, I wonder if I put that, I'm pretty sure I did. Oh, yeah, it's right after this. I love how he calls them amateurs, and he's like, man, they suck, and he's going to such extremes to be good at this game, which he's just amazing as it is, but, and that's the next line. Jeremy Renner is, like, perfect in this movie. Like, everyone he meets is on his side, and he's like, Mr. Perfect, I got an ant on me. Sorry, I wouldn't freak out so much, but these ants really hurt when they bite. I'd rather not be bit on the back of the neck or something. Like, I'm talking, like, between a bee and a wasp sting. Like, it's not pleasant. And they're all over the place around here. I can handle little bitty ants, but these big, like, tree ants, and some of them, I don't know if they're fire ants, but they definitely look like fire ants. So, where was I? Talked about Jeremy Renner being perfect on everything he does. I love the purse defense scene. That was really funny. I really like all the actors in this movie. Like, I couldn't even name them all, but I've seen them all in previous movies, and I just like everyone in this movie. So maybe that helps out with why I like the movie so much. The walkie-talkies was a very classic touch. I thought that was cool. I don't want to mention it, but a certain something has stopped blowing. Maybe if I don't mention it by name, it'll stop. It'll stay calm. The golf cart chase scene was awesome. Mission Impossible, the last one, had a motorcycle chase scene, and no, here it comes again. A motorcycle chase scene and a helicopter chase scene, but now we got a golf cart chase scene, so that was really good. I liked it. It was funny. It was kind of weird how right when they got into the forest, like, they wreck, and it cuts away for a minute, and when it cuts back, I feel like it hasn't been any amount of time, but suddenly it's dark and foggy. I thought that was really weird. Like, maybe that was just something they meant to do, but that was kind of strange. But overall, the entire forest scene was awesome. How he was almost like a jungle commando or something, using all the techniques that someone in the jungle would use to fight off like guerrilla warfare and stuff. So I thought that was good. Although the guy screaming was a little weird that was dressed up like him. But overall, I loved the entire forest scene. Although, fun fact, chloroform does not take effect like quickly, and it also doesn't last very long. That's kind of a movie myth. I think it takes, I think the fastest you can get it to take effect if it's a high enough dose is like 2 or 3 minutes or something like that. So you have to hold it on there for a long time, and it's actually very dangerous. It can kill if it's too high of a dose. And I'm not sure exactly how long it lasts, but I know you have to keep reapplying it if you want to keep someone under the influence and knocked out. So I tried to look up some of that stuff, because I thought I'd read somewhere, so I tried to look up some of the facts about it. I'm not a serial killer. Which that's exactly what a serial killer would say, isn't it? I thought throwing the donuts like throwing stars was hilarious and perfect and awesome, and never would have thought of something like that. I also loved hearing the internal dialogue of everybody. How it was, you would think it would just be Jeremy Renner the entire movie, and then it's like each single person and they're all saying something funny. That was great. The miscarriage scene was a little weird. I mean, I know it was to trick them, but he threatened that one guy saying he would crush his windpipe, and it seemed really serious, and I don't know, I feel like they could have found some way to get out of that, or maybe use a different subject that's not quite so serious. So, because I mean, she even I think she posted she was in the hospital. No, I guess she didn't post that it was a miscarriage because no one else knew she was pregnant. Because at the wedding, they didn't want to bring it up. I don't know. It just seemed like too serious of a thing to do for the game. I feel like they could have found something else. But I am glad that his wife is into the game. That did fool me at least during the miscarriage scene. I thought maybe she wasn't in the game. I was like, man, he's marrying somebody he's like the king of the game, and he's marrying somebody that doesn't even like the game, and like he's going to end up regretting that later. So I'm glad that she was in the game, even if she is a little extreme. I'm also glad at the very end they finally allowed women to play, even though Ed Helm's wife went psycho. But it was it made for a good ending. Sorry, I want to... Okay, I guess that was it. I really liked that ending, like when they were chasing each other around in the hospital, which I thought, yeah, I'm going to try to rearrange some of this. I did really like the way it ended, but this is the only reason I gave it a 9 out of 10 instead of a 10 out of 10. I felt like they could have found another way to be able to tag him without that one guy actually having a life-threatening issue. I mean, I know... See, maybe for me to like this movie even more, I did need like a serious ending to it, but I kind of feel like I didn't. But there's no way for me to tell unless I was able to see the movie for the first time without a serious ending. So, I don't know. I just feel like there is, with it being comedic the entire time, like in Deadpool they did serious, but it's an actual, I mean, it is a comedy, but it's an action comedy. I feel like this is just a straight comedy. Like, there's no actions. You don't need seriousness in this to buy the characters. And, I mean, they did, I know they kind of put in messages like, this isn't about running away from each other, it's about getting closer to each other and stuff like that. Which, that was nice, but I'm just not sure I needed that in a comedy. So, I'm really unsure. Like, I didn't hate it, but at the same time, I feel like it might have been possible that they could have done it better. So, the actual ending to the movie, I had no clue what was going on. I didn't know if it was like people that had just filmed stuff that sent it in, or what. I don't know. I was super confused until the very end when it shows all the people, and that's when I realized it was actually based on these people, which is kind of cool, but for such a neat movie to end it on stupid, poorly filmed at-home footage, I just didn't like that. I would have been fine if they had put that at the first of the movie. Then I would have known this whole movie was based on that. But to have it at the end, I just didn't like it. I feel like you really got to score it high on the ending. Like, a movie's really got to end well. And that was like, for me, one of the worst ways to end it. It was a poorly filmed, based on a true story. And this is a comedy. Who cares if it's based on a true story? So, I think that was it. Yeah. Yep, that was it. That's the only reason I didn't give it a 10 out of 10 is just the ending. I mean, like I said, gave it a 9 out of 10, so it wasn't terrible. Not a terrible ending, but that's what brought the score down. So that's going to be it for the movie review. We're going to go on to the movie recommendation. This is going to be Ponyo. It's funny, I typed Ponyo. This is a 2008 animated movie. This is by Studio Ghibli. This movie doesn't have... A lot of the animated movies I recommend have a lot of good messages in them, and this one's more entertaining than it is trying to show a message and show emotions and stuff. But it is fun. It's wonderfully animated and very entertaining. I guess the message it would have would be to never stop fighting, never give up, always pursue your dreams, stuff like that. Which is not terrible, but I mean, I still highly recommend it. The description is, Ponyo is a goldfish princess that longs to live on the surface. She meets a boy that gives her a name, the Ponyo, and the closer she grows in friendship, the more human-like she becomes. After her father takes her back, she escapes and accidentally spills magic elixirs that endanger the boy's village. And pretty much that's it. She's this little bitty creature, and she gets on land, and the boy captures or takes her and puts her in water, and names her Ponyo, and she really likes him, and she becomes a little girl just like he is. He's a little boy. And it's kind of the adventure of it is her father trying to pull her back to the sea and her trying to escape, and the elixirs are making like big waves and creatures and stuff, and so the village is trying to survive all that's going on, and it's just really cool and really fun to watch. So I feel like if anyone liked that was loud. If anyone liked Moana, they'd really like Ponyo. So that's going to be it. I forgot to bring my phone out. See how quickly... Oh, look, it's unlocked. Woo! Now, watch the ad come up. Awkward silence. I should have done this when it was windy. Alright. To the person who stole my antidepressants the other day, I hope you're happy now. How do you tell the gender of an ant? You toss it in water. If it sinks, it's a girl ant. If it floats, it's a boy ant. Boy ant. And if it bobs up and down, it's gender fluid. Alright. I added on that last part. Quotes. Don't sweat the petty stuff and don't pet the sweaty stuff. This is just kind of a funny quote to help you to remember to not worry about the small things. I know I've said this in other quotes. I feel like a lot of my quotes just kind of link together, but I feel like they also reinforce the ideas that they're trying to promote. And maybe if one quote doesn't get through to you, maybe a different quote reinforcing the idea will. But it's just... It's like one of those things where if you realize... There's some people out there that they realize how big the galaxy is and how big our Earth is and how small they are. and they can actually take that and gain reassurance that the things that are going on in their lives don't matter as much as they're making it out to be. So just keep going, keep trying to find your happiness, and just don't worry about the small things. I mean, it's like that one quote, if you can't do anything about it, you have to accept it and move on. So that's not the exact quote, but that's part of it. So the other quote, if you don't sacrifice what you want becomes a sacrifice. And you have to go out there and do and figure out and find what you want in life to make you happy. Because the goal of life is happiness. And if you don't, then whatever you're wanting is going to be the sacrifice. Like, you have to make sacrifices to get what you want. And that's something that some people in my life don't understand. That, kind of like the quote I said last time, that it doesn't matter how much you say you want something. It matters on how hard you're willing to work for it. I mean, if you're not willing to make the sacrifices, then you're going to lose whatever it is. So that becomes your sacrifice. And that's just something you have to understand. That's going to be it for the jokes and quotes. Inside the Introvert. One of the things on the, I can't remember what to call it, newsletter, that's what it is. One of the things on the newsletter, the Introvert Gear, which I'm pretty sure I said this, but once I break this podcast into two, I'll do a lot more from the newsletter. But this I really wanted to talk about now, is we're talking about a study on introverts and how introverts actually use long-term memory more than they use short-term memory, or at least they're better at using long-term memory than they are at using short-term memory. And that's why for a lot of introverts it's a lot easier to write stuff down than to verbalize it. It's why our minds can just go blank. Our minds use different routes to get to the information, to retrieve the information we need. And it happens all the time to me in this podcast. So that's why if I just go blank and I can't remember something, and then a few minutes later it pops into my head, it's because my brain's wired to take different routes. And I mean, that's why I hate talking on the phone, and I love being able to write emails or write text and stuff like that, because it actually gives me time to think about what I want to say. And that's another reason that I'm so quiet as an introvert, is because a lot of times I'm just trying to think of what to say. It just takes me longer, and I mean, when you're in a conversation with people, especially if it's more than three, the conversation is usually going so quickly that I don't have time to think of what I want to say, and by the time I do, we're on a different subject, or I'm still trying to take in what everyone else is saying and consider it, and I don't know, it's just a very different way that introverts interact, their mind interacts. So, yeah, that's what happens in my podcast when I can't think of what to say or anything like that. It really annoys me when cars trying to go by and those geese can't determine what side of the road they want to be on. It really annoys me when people are trying to sell stuff, external people are trying to sell stuff at businesses. Like when I'm going in Walmart and there's people outside trying to sell me stuff, I have to, I mean, it's an interaction that I hadn't planned on, and I really don't want to do it, but I have to do it anyways. Same thing inside Walmart. A lot of times there'll be people in there trying to sell stuff. I don't even know what it is, like internet or TV service or something like that. And I usually have to walk around them or pull out my cell phone and act like I'm looking on my cell phone as I pass them, and it's annoying that I have to find ways to avoid that. Same thing at the register. This doesn't happen all that often, but having to be asked to donate constantly, it's just really annoying. I wish we didn't have to do stuff like that, especially for an introvert. It's like that one. Okay, I hit the 30-minute mark. I went on some rant about homeless people that are not really homeless, and I think they have like a little leader that's sending them out to different areas, and it wasn't really an introverted thing. It's just something that annoys me. That cause I don't really care. They're at all the traffic lights, but I just don't look at them. And but they still get lots of stuff and money from people, and then they go back to their backpack and get their water and beef jerky and expensive stuff to buy. But anyways, what was the joke I said? Nope, I don't know. My camera's about to die anyways. My battery's about to die. So I'm going to go on to the next thing that I had actually already said, but I had a problem with a score on something I did at work. It wasn't necessarily I had a problem with it, I just wanted to make sure I knew what they expected me to do in that situation. And so I asked them about it, and they sided with me and said I did do everything right, and the person that scored me was incorrect. And the supervisor that scored me sits right across from me. And they came back to her and started getting on to her later in the day, and she was trying to defend herself, and I was getting so much like secondhand guilt or shame or whatever. Like I was like, that was not my intention. I just wanted to make sure I knew what the problem was, so I didn't repeat it in the future. And now she's getting in all this trouble. So did not care for that. But yeah, the rant section. I said I need to add like a rant section to this because it wasn't necessarily an introverted thing. Like on Family Guy, the grinds my gears. Oh, that's what the joke was. I didn't want to leave it off because it said in the previous video. It cut off right when I said the joke. Online, you see something like, I was talking about how they always try to sell you stuff at registers. Not quite so much around where I'm at, but the thing online says, I just wanted to buy milk. Why do you have to make me seem like a bad person? Hey, all the geese are coming back over. Now it's too late, though. Okay, I'm going to end the video by zooming in on the geese. When I don't have a lot of money, so if I do donate, I want to make sure every single penny gets to the cause or to the people or whatever, and that requires a lot of research, and that's not something I can do on the fly, so I never donate to anyone or any like register or anything like that. It's just I want to make sure that the organization is not getting any of that money. I mean, if they need, I know some of the money has to go to them so they can actually do what they're doing, but at the same time, the majority should go to the cause. But anyways, that's going to be it. All my episodes are on YouTube. You can listen to them on there, or you can use Online Video Converter to make them into MP3s. You can follow me on Twitter, and also check out my Pinterest for daily nature pictures and stuff. It's SilverC Review, and all the episodes will be uploaded to SoundCloud. They stay on there for around a month, so you can listen to them on there. That's going to be it. Take care.